Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, it is Rasax once again, yo boy, you know what I'm saying? And this video is gonna be a quickie. I don't really have much to say about this subject. I think school, for the most part, is a complete and utter waste of time. You're paying too much money, you're investing too much time, too much effort, you're barely learning anything, right? And you're like praying, please, please allow me to, become a doctor or a lawyer. Please allow me to get a job. Please let me get into a really good school, get into debt, and maybe I'll eventually pay it off. Please, please, science, lords, please, all for the science. Listen, for me, the most important thing in life is time. When I look back at the things I have done and the choices I've made in the past, I'm been like, you know what? I don't regret a lot. Yeah, there are things I regret. I'm gonna be no regrets. I don't regret anything. No, no, I do have some regrets, but they're like small, not important, nothing major. One of my regrets is studying, going to school, graduating, doing all this, all that. It was a complete and utter waste of time. And thankfully, I didn't do the whole thing. I didn't drop out. I graduated and all that, but I didn't really study like crazy. Oh, I must get a master's degree and this, and then I'll go to this other school. No, 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 no. And I'll take this course. No. I was like, okay, I'll get something. I'll get a title or whatever. I'll do this and that. I got the basic stuff, nothing extra. In computer science, the science guys, it was a waste. I barely learned anything that I wanted to learn. All of the good shit that I know, well, I learned by myself. It was too expensive, too much filler, too much, wasting your time learning useless garbage that you're never going to apply to anything. It sucked. It sucked. Now, do I know people that have studied hard and they got their titles and they're now being, successful and they're fine? I know a lot of surgeons, and doctors, and lawyers that are doing well. Yeah, I do know that. But was it really worth it? Like the amount of time that they spent compared to the money they're making? Like, is the payoff good enough? Like, would you, with a straight face, will be like, yeah, it was worth it. I don't regret it at all. I studied for a decade and now I'm making, I'm making some money. I'm okay. And I kinda managed to pay off my debts. But will you be like, yeah, it was completely worth it. I don't regret it a bit. Nah. Now, you may be wondering, wait, you said that you don't really have big regrets, but didn't you say that school is like a massive waste of time? Yeah, the thing is that I figured that out like instantly. And I was working on things behind the scenes and I managed, to survive a really difficult situation in my life because, I expanded, I opened my mind, I adapted, I escaped the matrix, I made my money, I was successful for a bit. And it all came crashing down. Nothing is, permanent. Only diamonds are forever and whatever, however it's said. And all that because I understood the system. Yeah, I still studied and whatever, Sure, some of my parents will like whine and bitch and moan. But I was working behind the scenes. I was doing my thing. I was building myself. I was preparing. Because I knew that school wasn't going to get me out of trouble if I was in a really delicate situation. And the funny part is that eventually I was in a situation like that and I managed to survive. It was a life or death situation because I had savings. I did, my businesses here and there. I did my stuff. I did different things. Without even getting a title, I was making some decent money. And the people, a lot of people that I know, that graduated and all that are struggling. A lot of them are homeless. They're like beggars on the streets. So it's rough, man. If you study and if you want your kids to study or whatever, it's fine, right? If I had kids and they want to study, it's fine. You know, if they want that, I'll support them. It's not really the end of the world. It's not like, oh, school is useless by any means. Like never study ever. No, no. But I don't really support that. I don't really like school, university, high school, middle school, whatever, kindergarten, even like it's all garbage, man. Things used to be so much different. Back in the day, you could just work whatever, and you'll, get money and get your waifu and get everything. Everything would just be automatic. Like you don't even have to play the game; it will just play by itself. Nowadays, things are rough. Everything is expensive. Everything is rough. Everything is difficult. You have to try different things. You have to have plan B, a plan C, a plan D even. You have to understand that life isn't lived by walking in a straight line. Like there's many different paths you can take. And the more options you have, the better. That's what makes us someone that's smart. Someone who can think outside the box. Someone who can discover, who can learn by themselves, who can come to their own conclusions. We're like, okay, what do I think? Is this a good thing logically? It's not like, oh, well, most people do this, so I'm going to do it. Be cheap. Meh. You're a drone. Beep boop, beep boop, boop boop. You're AI, you're a bot, you're an NPC. You're not real, you're not human. So, yeah. Um, just, be careful out there. Peace. Oh, and something else I forgot. My next video gonna be about how YouTubers are fake and shit. No, actually, it's gonna be about fake YouTubers. Stay tuned, subscribe, like, and all that. Peace.